Making good beats should take you no more than 30 minutes. It actually could even take you less. If you are spending more than 30 minutes to produce your beats, it means that you are lazy and you are wasting your time. I'm Mordarski and I will help you make your first K selling beats. So at the beginning maybe my story. So my beats used to take me hours and days. At the beginning of my journey, definitely it used to be the thing that I was spending 5 hours on the beat, maybe 1 day on the beat, okay? Maybe I was producing for a whole day and another day, okay? So it used to take me a lot. For example, I wasn't able to maintain my daily uploads for like my old type beat channel because I had school going on and I had to spend like 3-4 hours to make one beat for my channel. Just bear in mind, at some point for me the really big step to forward was producing one beat for type beat channel in let's say 2 hours. 2 hours was already considered effective for me, and now I'm talking about 30 minutes. Okay, so how is it possible? Generally, maybe we'll talk about the ways of becoming this kind of producer as I am later, but right now I literally make uploads for my YouTube type beat channel in like 30 minutes. I think that right now I'm able to make like 3 beats, I mean from scratch to export in like 2 hours. Because generally this 30 minutes is kind of a rage bait for you, because it's like 30 minutes it takes make melody, drums, bass, and then it could take a little bit more to make some better arrangement and maybe more complex mixing. But basically 30 minutes is more than enough for me to make an upload for my current type beat channel, okay? So generally, if you're a beginning producer and you're this kind of guy who takes like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours to produce beat, it seems that yeah, but you're focusing on your stuff, so why shouldn't it take this much time? But actually, when you think about it, we usually create our patterns, let's say kick pattern, sometimes even snare pattern, melodies, chord progressions. We are very likely to play it on the MIDI, okay? Like if you're not a beginner, you don't even have MIDI keyboard, this video is probably not for you. But generally, if you get at least this, medium advanced, you're not a total rookie in producing, you will probably use some MIDI keyboard and use it for melodies, chord progressions, for like bass line, and for some part of your drums. So now reasonably, if recording your melody takes you 20 seconds and every other part also takes like 20 seconds, why the fuck does producing beat take so much? Okay? Because now, because even obviously, you can take 10 different takes of melody. So okay, 20 seconds times 10, whoa, 200 seconds, 3 minutes with something, okay? It shouldn't take you this much. Like literally, if you're recording your everything on MIDI, like most of your stuff on MIDI, and maybe you made hi-hat and snare by clicking on the keyboard, okay, that's understandable. It should take you like 10 minutes to record all that, because they 2 attempts to make an 808, few attempts to make a melody, maybe chord progression maybe you will get manual chord progression, but there is not too much to mess around with chord progression. So what the fuck you're actually doing for let's say 2 hours? Because even though right now it seems unreasonable, I understood, if you sit for 2 hours on the beat, it actually means you're just fucking wasting time. Because it literally means that you should already make all your most important stuff, so melodies, drum patterns, and let's say bass line and stuff like that. But so what's now mixing for 1 hour, arranging for 1 hour, sound selection for 1 hour? Really? Generally, you get faster when you get better, okay? So I don't want to give you the advice that you should just get faster, because it's not like now you will not focus. Now it doesn't work this way that, yeah, right now I don't focus on quality, right now I focus on quantity. Not really. Quantity means quality, actually. You could literally put equal between them, okay? Because if you produce more beats, you get better, okay? So if you will produce more beats, your beats will get better and you will also produce them faster. I don't think that it's even possible to go in this direction that you produce so fucking fast you can make beat from scratch to the end in 10 minutes and your beat don't get some quality, better quality. Basically, if you produce more beats, you may lack some mixing sometimes, because let's say that you lack some skills in mixing, maybe you lack some skills in using some sample tools, but basically your melodies, your drum patterns, your groove, your beats overall, so the most important part of your beat, will get better, because if you make more beats, your intuition, your instinct of making music will get simply better, okay? So generally, in this video, I don't want you to feel that I need to get faster, just faster, not really. You just need to have this mindset till today that you should produce quicker, and if you can do this right now, if you literally, there is no way that you could in 30 minutes create proper beat, it means that you lack some skills, because I'm telling you by experience, 30 minutes is way more than enough to make proper beat. I am recording like, you know, melody in 1 minute, making drum pattern in 2 minutes, some 808 pattern in 2 minutes. Mixing takes like 15 minutes, okay? But maybe mixing is the other thing, so mixing doesn't really matter, okay? The most important part is making proper beat. If your beat is not good, if melody sucks, if drum pattern sucks, even best mix will not save your beat, okay? But generally, maybe let's focus on the most important problem of you guys who already have some quality, could get way quicker with productions. Furthermore, your beats would get better if you'd make them quicker, but you just think that you are productive while you are actually wasting time. So I actually had to write down some of those things. At first, you really often are doing over sound selection. Like it's not even something that is from experience of looking at your beats. It's something I know. I used to do this thing, and you are also definitely doing it. So you already make some melody. You have some fucking synthesizer, some, you know, sampler for the sound, you have some sound, but you think, maybe now I should add special layer. Maybe actually this melody will sound better on something different. So generally, don't have even idea for the new thing, but you start to create this new thing. The problem is, the nuance in this whole situation. If you have some idea that you're thinking, okay, this melody will sound great on some violin, boom, go for violin. But if you have, yeah, it sounds good, but maybe it will sound better if I do something. No, I don't want you to do something, because when you will get, for example, into layering it, you don't have strict idea that, okay, I want to add some low end to my melody, but you have, I want to add something to melody, then your melody will suck. Okay, so at first, never do over sound selecting. Basically, if something sounds good, it sounds fucking good. That's the most important rule. If your melody sounds good, you don't need to add to it. If your snare sounds good, you don't need to layer more. If your bass sounds good, you don't need to look for more 808s, okay? Another thing, you are doing too much mixing, okay? Like generally, if that's case for you and you're spending 1 hour, 2 hours on mixing your beat, you go into link in the description, and there should be my video on mixing your beats. And basically, I proved in this video that I'm mixing my beats in 15 minutes. I've done my mix in 60 minutes, while I was also explaining at the same time all stuff to the camera. So basically, if I wouldn't have this explanation part, I would just do it like 10 minutes probably, because the whole process of mixing your beat, by the way, you should do leveling, filtering, send channels, panning, and probably some sidechain. Probably didn't mention sidechain. Okay, so it's only 5 things, and maybe extra step number 6 is adding some effects on the way. So sometimes you add some horror, saturation, whatever. But basically, this thing sounds simple, and it's even more simple in practice. So you don't apply it because you're mixing your drums that are already pre-mixed, or they're generally are ready, but you think, yeah, but maybe I will add something else to my drums. Usually not. If you're using proper drum kits, they don't require any mixing. If you're making melodies, you should add some filtering and maybe reverb to your stuff, and it's enough to glue your melodies together. If you find yourself messing too much with your like drums or melodies, it means that your sound selection sucks basically. But it's not even that your sound selection sucks, it's most like you don't just have good sounds, you just need to start using good quality sounds basically. Another thing, you're overthinking melodies. That's like the biggest killer of productivity and killer of good beats. I couldn't count how many times I've already made proper melodies. So I play my shit on like MIDI keyboard, and it already sounds good. I think, yeah, but maybe actually I could add a little extra note, some extra chord in this, some extra fucking, and it never works, okay? When I stop doing that, right, these days, literally, when I'm clicking in my MIDI keyboard, and I figure out that, oh, it actually sounds interesting, I go with that. I don't even hesitate for a second. I record it, and 1 minute later, I'm already making some chord progression around it, I'm making some drums, I'm making some bass, I'm maybe even mixing already, okay? So literally, Stop overthinking melodies. I've made this like actually specific video on making better melodies. I will try to also give it in the description because that's very important. The most important part is also, if your melody sounds good, you don't need more notes in it. Even if your melody uses only 2 notes, it's still nice. Even if your melody is like 1 note, it's still nice if it sounds good. Never try to have this approach that you will add more notes to your melody thinking that yeah, it will improve my... What the fuck, okay? It will not improve anything. So you're overthinking melodies, that's big time waster. And last thing that will waste your time is looking for unnecessary layers. So that's basically over sound selecting, but I wanted to make separate point on this. Because over sound selecting, I mean more by you have proper melody on the piano, it sounds good, but you think that you will find some better instrument. And I always had this that okay, so I make this piano melody, it sounds good on piano, but I think okay, piano seems too basic. Okay, so then I'm looking for new sound for 20 fucking minutes, and then I realize, fuck, actually, out of these 20 different sounds, piano sounds the best, okay? So that's more about sound selecting, and now unnecessary layers, so it's basically more about it. If you have no purpose of adding more layers, you don't need more fucking layers. There are melodies that have no layering at all, and they sound great. There are melodies who have 20 different fucking layers, and they sound lame. Okay? Number of layers will not improve your beat. Sometimes just get proper. Like, for example, layering piano doesn't make sense. Layering guitar doesn't make sense. Layering a lot of synthesizers also doesn't make sense. There are some that are kind of meant to be layered because they lack some low end, they lack some high end, and we want to add something to them. Yeah, sure, 100%. But don't try to do this that you have, for example, full fucking proper piano melody, and then we're thinking, how could I layer piano? You can't even fucking layer piano. Like, I will tell this quick fucking hot take. You can't really layer piano. Layering piano will never work. You can use some counter melodies, some chord progression. You can use some bass line, sure. Strictly layering piano melody will always be a waste of your fucking time. It never works, okay? Maybe this one time in like 1000 you will get this situation, but yeah, it's actually worth to like layer piano with something, but sometimes you can layer low piano note, yes, that's true, but if you have proper piano melody, let's say simple chord progression with under notes, never worked out for me to add some layer, okay? So, since I mentioned the biggest time waster, now how to get faster into producing. So at first I broke down it into actually getting better at producing. So you simply need to produce more. That's like first most important thing. If you're producing right now, let's say 10 beats per week, and if 10 beats per week already sounds fucking high for you, man, I got bad news, because 10 beats per week is definitely not enough. If you want to go full time, or if you just want to get better at beats, you want to start selling your beats like by any means, okay, it means that you should produce 50 beats per week at least, okay? Like, I would say that the bare minimum is this 20 beats, because it's like roughly 3 beats per day, okay? Like, if you can produce 3 beats per day, and all of them could be exported and could go to your YouTube channel, yeah, that's proper, okay? So generally, I don't want to go too much about like producing more, because there are like millions of ways of producing more. You can make like those challenges for making just more beats, for making new genres, for testing new tools. But basically, you need to increase quantity of beats. So I don't even want to get smart with this first point. You just need to produce more. If you produce 10 and it takes too much time, now try to produce 50, and you will understand. Oh, and don't try to take actually too much time. You have, let's say, 20 hours per week to produce beats. And right now you're producing 10 beats. Try to produce fucking 50. It seems unreasonable, but you will simply produce more because of this changing approach, changing this fucking anchor, okay? You will anchor a different number, a different quantity, at higher quantity, and you will start simply producing more. That's how you fucking trick your brain to do more, basically. Another thing, I mentioned it actually, do challenges for many beats, okay? So basically you make this challenge, I will make 100 beats this week, okay? I don't try, maybe because honestly I've never stick to making like 100 beats per week like for, let's say, months straight, because yeah, that's kind of extreme. Even if you have whole fucking day for producing, it's kind of extreme. And if you have school, job, whatever, yeah, 100 beats per week could take you a little bit too much. But basically try to do this 1 week. So in this week I will make 100 beats, or maybe today I will make 20 Big X the Black type beats, or tomorrow I will make 20 country beats, maybe tomorrow I will make 20 pop beats, okay? Basically sky is the limit on this. I want to do challenges for specific genres and for specific amount of beats, okay? So not just I will make one drill beat. No, I want, if genre is new for you, I want you to try making 10 beats in this new genre. Then actually one of those beats could be good and it could create new type of channel for you. It could create totally, like, you know, you could discover new niche for your sound basically. And another thing to becoming faster producer and better producer is challenges for making beats fast. So for example, I was doing this thing, I was setting a timer for, let's say, like 1 hour, and I tried to make 4 beats. Okay, so maybe not like to export, but I mean to make proper loop, bassline and stuff. So making like 3 beats, 4 beats in 1 hour. You can make like, you will make 1 beat every 15 minutes. Those beats don't have to be good. It's generally very good technique to overcome your beat block, because you're feeling like, yeah, I can't produce anything. No, you just set up your fucking timer for 15 minutes and you produce anything. This beat can suck, this beat can be like, this beat could be out of key, it could sound bad, nobody will buy it, yeah, sure, etc. But don't worry, it's not about like making crazy beat in those 15 minutes, it's about improving your skills. Because once you will find yourself under this time pressure, you will just, your mind will, but generally, you will subconsciously, you will start looking for ways to produce faster, okay? Like basically, if I hold you on gunpoint, okay, I am telling you, if you don't make 10 beats in 1 hour, I will shoot you, you will do it. Like think about it. Like just imagine, I'm holding you on a fucking gunpoint, okay? And I'm telling you, you have to produce beats in this hour or I will shoot you and I will shoot all your... Generally, you know what I'm saying. You will, like, it is that, like, imagine you're in this situation. Would you do this? Like, fuck yeah, like, why don't, like, you know, you can just drop some fucking MIDI melody, you can add some fucking drum loop from Cymatics, like, you suddenly start looking for fucking ways. Like, basically, for example, I started doing those challenges because I was kind of pushed into this by life, because I was going for a little vacation with my family when I was younger. It was like 2-3 years ago, and we were living for more than a week. I didn't have prepared uploads for my Typebeat channel, so and we was like 1 hour before leaving house, and we had to go to fucking airport, so it was pretty fucking serious. I couldn't miss the fucking airport, yeah. So I had to produce like 3 beats in like 1 hour, and I was able to do that. And before that, making beats for this channel took me like 2 hours, 3 hours, and now I could make those beats for like no, 3 beats in 1 fucking hour, okay? And it made me, like, really, because I just mentioned it so casually, but actually it was the turning point when I understood that it's actually possible to make these beats this quickly. Then obviously I came back home and I was still not so capable. It still took me a lot of time to produce beats, but I had this like change in mindset that it is actually possible to really produce that quick, okay? And now, generally the most important part, producing more, because you can produce more beats, you can do those challenges, but if you don't remember about this thing, you will anyway not really make it, okay? You will not get better producer and quicker and whatever. You just need to get into the zone, okay? So when you're producing, you just go offline, you don't watch YouTube, you don't watch tutorials, you don't listen to other music, you don't use your phone, you don't call people, you don't on Discord, you don't on fucking conversation with your girlfriend or something. No, if you're producing, you're producing. That's like why producers are sometimes saying that are spending like 1 day producing a beat. You're not producing for 1 fucking day. Like, tell me what the fuck could take you, like, right now I go off fucking script, okay? Because that was anyway my last point, so right now I'll give you some little run. What the fuck are you supposed to do with 5 hours of producing? I used to do those kind of productions, and sometimes, yes, you can add some other chord progression, you can add some little beat switch, you can add some fucking little effect. It doesn't take fucking 5 hours. Melody takes you few minutes, drum pattern takes you few minutes, even if you're like some fucking maniac sitting on hi-hat for 10 minutes, it's still 15 minutes. Sound selection, like, basically, most of guys never make it in producing because they're still stuck in this fucking phase of being a fucking sweaty little teenager in the room when they are fucking watching some YouTube bullshit. They are jerking off at the same fucking time and they're looking for some sound selection for their fucking beat. Okay? Like, and then no surprise that your sound select takes like 2 hours. If you're watching YouTube, you're fucking jerking off on the side and you're also fucking, what the fuck? Because, like, by the way, I used to be there. Obviously, I used to be there. I know what I'm talking about. I'm sure like a lot of you guys can relate, but if your fucking work means watching YouTube, eating food, or like being on Discord at the same time, you will never make it. Okay, so generally, fuck my previous points. If you don't need any challenges, you don't need to produce more beats, you just need to get fucking locked in. Once you will start producing totally offline with no distractions, I mean totally no distractions, so you're not eating anything while you're producing, you're not calling anybody, you're not leaving your room, you just have this mindset, I'm sitting here till I have fucking beat ready. It will be ready in like 1 hour. Even if you're total fucking beginner, total rookie in producing, it will be ready in an hour. Okay, so last more important thing, keep your phone out of your room, stay offline while you're producing, don't call anybody, don't talk to anybody while you're producing, and you will be really good, okay? And I can maintain it, being in the zone while I live in a student accommodation with another fucking guy who is kind of stranger to me. Like, right now he's my friend, but I started producing while I didn't really know him, and I just told him, okay bro, now I'm locking in on producing, and he was like, okay, sure, no problem. Sitting like 1 meter from me, I was just locked in, he could like study or something, I was able to just lock in and produce. You can also get to this point, okay? So it's really not that fucking difficult to produce beats in 30 minutes then. So that's my whole thing for today. If you want to invest in your producing journey, you can go into first link in the description. This is my 10-hour selling beats course, and by the way, this is also my community when I also run those weekly video calls when I go in front of the camera and I am answering your questions, as I will be sitting right here and answering your questions. You also like get to a community of like-minded producers who are also watching my content, so they are probably fairly similar to you, but they may be on higher level, so you can learn from that. You can get some placements because of them, and generally you can become better producer. You can learn by my mistakes and mistakes of other producers. So simply, if you want to invest in your journey, go into first link in the description. That's all for today. Bye.